First Local. Supported by Maker North. 3D printing, laser cutting, 3D design, education, prototyping, and more. Maker North, whatever it takes. Shop local, dine local, listen local, love local. Small businesses in the Algoma area have been a huge part of our community. Now is the time to show our support for them. From local markets to retail stores, music venues, and restaurants. Small businesses make up the backbone of our community. So go on, embrace all they have to offer by shopping, dining, listening, and loving local. Visit ssmcoc.com to learn more or to join the Chamber today.
It's Jacob Moore, sports analyst, back in the On TV studios, letting you know that 705 Sports is now expanding. We will now be airing 705 Sports headlines Wednesdays at noon. This will be a much shorter, quicker version of 705 Sports, where we'll be talking about all the biggest stories in sports, but not breaking them down quite the same way we do on the full show, which will still be every Friday at noon. So make sure you turn in to 705 Sports headlines every Wednesday at noon, starting this Wednesday.
Superior Adult Learning is looking for volunteers who want to make a difference in our community and help others reach their full potential. In only a few hours a week, you can help our learners achieve their goals and set them on a path towards a successful, independent future. Visit www.superioral.ca to get started now.
How's it going, everyone? It's Jacob Moore here at the On TV studios, letting you know there's been a slight change to 705 Sports. 705 Sports will now be airing Fridays at noon versus Fridays at 4 p.m. We will still be covering all your local, national, and international sports. The difference is now, while you're enjoying your lunch, you can check out myself, Dan Gray, and multiple different guests as we go over all your sports coverage. So make sure to tune in to 705 Sports Fridays at noon on our Facebook page and video on demand.
Superior Adult Learning provides free one-on-one support to help you reach your goals. Improve your reading, writing, and math skills, become more independent, and increase your employability. Visit www.superioral.ca to get started now.
We all know that 705 Sports loves to take questions from the community, and we're looking to go one step further. Send in your video question and it will be used on the show. Dan and I will break down your question and answer it the best to our ability so you can really feel you're a part of the 705 Sports community. 705 Sports airs every Friday at noon on TV and Sioux Online's Facebook page, plus our video on demand service at SiouxOnline.com.
Here we are again. Good morning.
Wednesday, and it is January the 12th. I was really anticipating, you know, the deep freeze that we've been experiencing all week, but
Well, you shouldn't be, because I didn't tell you it was going to be a deep freeze, but go on.
Well, so when I checked the temperature this morning and found that it was -3, I mean, that's practically tropical after
Isn't
what we've
it,
been
though?
living through. So,
Like, what a difference, eh?
wow. Yeah, no,
Did you
it's,
notice the sky last night?
I did actually.
There was a pink and purple sky last night, and we have some pictures. Just wait.
Yeah.
There's one picture. You can just see. I mean, it looks like it's.
It's like at 5 o'clock-ish.
It was
that
5
I
o'clock for
noticed
about
it.
20 minutes. It was pink, and then it went purple. And we'll go look at the next photo by Keith Bowser.
And that's not even a filter, because I was dropping
I
Emma
know.
off at my mother's, and we got out of the car and we both stopped for a minute, and it was like, what?
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
cool.
Well-
And it's just like, you know, just like a rainbow,
Okay.
how the sun hits water droplets and you get all the different colors of the prism. Well, that's what happened last night. It was hitting ice crystals and gave us that beautiful pink sky, and then eventually purple.
Okay.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. I felt it was a little creepy. I mean, you know.
Oh, it definitely was creepy. It was almost like we were on a different planet. But it only lasted 20 minutes. And we're all okay.
We're all okay. okay. Yeah.
And you also went golfing last night.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How
The
was
online
that?
experience. Yeah, it was all right. It was the first time I've ever done anything like that. It was. I have played golf once, like in living kind of sort
real
of thing.
golf.
Yeah, so that was all right. Yeah, and playing that, like the live golf, it was there's a course in Scarborough, like just a little, they call it an executive course, I think, anyway. So a couple of my friends and I went, and they were horrified because apparently my shorts were too short or something. Like, I don't know. There's like a whole etiquette.
Yes.
You're not permitted to wear anything flashy or fun or anything because you distract players, apparently.
And you did.
Well,
Go figure.
I tend to make a scene wherever I go. It's not intentional. So
All right, well, we got some news. We got some weather. So you do the news.
I'll do the news. Okay. So, you know what? We had a big storm. There were a number of crashes, but just so that everybody knows, sometimes the crash can be made incrementally worse by who you crash into. And on that note, last night, a collision occurred in the west end of the city involving an emergency vehicle. So according to multiple witnesses and pictures from a scene, Sault Police service vehicle was struck on their right door. So damage to the police truck involved, you know, like I said, there's a nice gash in the side. A witness said the officer was traveling on Cora Road and was struck by a vehicle which missed the stop at Douglas Street. The forensics unit, as well as multiple patrol units, were on scene investigating. No word as yet has been released in terms of injuries. We have, of course, reached out to the Sault Police Service, and we will be providing you with an update as soon as we have one to provide. Yes, so there that is. So you know what? If you're going to skip a stop sign, make sure there isn't a police vehicle nearby. So, next story. So we did bring unfortunate news of a sudden death investigation happening in the area of Jamestown. And although Sault Police Services are still guarding the scene of this sudden death investigation, of course, Jamestown, a very tight-knit community, they are mourning the loss. There is much sadness within the community. And out of the sadness has come a memorial for Toylin Simpson, who has been widely identified on social media as the victim of last week's incident. So a tree has been decorated, and this is actually the third time in at least 12 months that a memorial has been erected in the area of a death in the community. So Toylin Simpson's sudden passing, of course, is devastating. Some of her loved ones have started decorating in bright colors to light her way home. It is said that Tori loved bright colors, was a vibrant person, a community activist with goals in the culinary arts, and this was released in a Facebook post, which also included a video of those who knew her and loved her wrapping trees. So we have reached out to Youth Odina and their co-founder and current manager Cecilia Tran for further comment. And Tran did say that she is not just another Jamestown fatality. She was a youth activist and an organizer with Youth Odina. So yeah, I mean, the community mourns. There are ribbons, decorations, small teddy bears in remembrance of this life that was cut short. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to do justice to this next story. Okay, so this upcoming October, we will be called to the polls again to vote for a mayor and councillors to sit around the table and make decisions that will guide our community as we move forward. Now, the election, of course, is 10 months away. However, this is a relatively shortened timeline in terms of some of the plans that our current municipal government is working on. So they're talking in this moment, because of course Monday there was a city council meeting, so they're talking in this moment about the active transportation master plan, which is currently under development. Now, we had also told you earlier in this week that Jamestown and reconnecting Jamestown through the redevelopment and the redesign of the hub trail because of the relocation of the bus station. Yeah. Anyway, you know, the need to reconnect Jamestown. So now apparently this is being put forward as an item that ought to be prioritized. So what Mayor Provenzano did say is, I think that we're gaming the system a little bit here. We have asked for a study to be done. The study will be done. We will get that assessment, and that assessment will come back to us. Then we can prioritize that being the Jamestown reconnection any way we see fit. And this is, of course, Mayor Provenzano explaining in this moment why he doesn't support the prioritization at this time. I don't see it being responsible to prioritize it in advance. I think you're essentially influencing the study prior to the study being done. And I think we should get the fullness of the information returned to us. He then dropped a suggestion potentially providing clarity as to why he believes some councillors may want this prioritized. And, you know, he went on to kind of explain his position a little bit further. He said, it doesn't mean we can't do it first for political reasons or for policy reasons that we think are more important. So as per protocol, Provenzano addressed council last on the issue, giving his thoughts on the impending vote after the other councillors had spoken. There were two other councillors who were also concerned with the timing, those being Councillor Gardy and Councillor Hilsinger. And Hilsinger did say, I certainly think that it's a good idea. I'm really struggling with the nature of calling something the highest priority before a comprehensive transportation plan. It is a priority in my mind, but to make it the highest priority when we're about to undergo a plan that's going to be comprehensive and all-encompassing in terms of how we can improve active transportation across our community. And there's the enigmatic ellipsis, those three dots that indicate that the discussion did further, but that's what I have for you now. Councillor Shoemaker, who has been a long-standing proponent of this idea, made reference to why he believes it should be done in the priority that has been indicated. He said this is one that has been bandied about for some time. Ooh, bandied about, I like that. Okay, a connection to the James Street area, either through the machine shop or down Queen Street and across northbound on Queen, but it seemed that we've waited for it. Then a couple of different trail proposals came forward, and this one kind of got bumped down the list, including the recent realignment of the hub trail along Huron Street. He stressed that it needs to be done because, in his opinion, the city did cut Jamestown off at least 20 years ago. And he said that essentially all this does is ensure that our active transportation master plan, this project, is considered the highest priority of council so that the next available funding envelope that is opened, we can have our ducks in a row to make that connection, to reattach a part of our community that has been isolated by the construction of Carmen's Way, which occurred, of course, some 20 years ago. So many councillors agreed with Shoemaker's statement, and the vote did pass 8-3. So in this moment, there is a pool of money which city staff are currently working to allocate according to projects which are deemed to be most important. That list will be coming to council shortly. We will cover it when it does. And when it does, with the re-election online, or Yes, with re-election online for some, the conversation and final decisions will be made by council members in terms of assigning priority. All right. In this moment, I'm going to prioritize Craig Huckerby, our weather specialist, who's been busily conversing with the weather models to give us a little bit of information on the next 12 hours.
Well, talking about City Hall, we're taking a live look at City Hall right now. It looks like a pretty nice morning. Definitely a lot warmer than we were seeing yesterday at this time when it was minus 22. We're at minus 4 right now when it's a very calm morning at the moment. We could see a few flurries move in later on this morning, but it's just going to be light stuff and it's not going to accumulate. Let's take a look at your 12-hour forecast. This is what your day is looking like. Again, we do have that risk of seeing just some light flurries. Most of that is already past us. I'll show you that on the radar coming up. Temperatures though, minus 4. We are seeing our temperatures dip in the afternoon because we have a weak cold front coming through today. It's going to shift the winds to the northwest and just cool us down a little bit at minus 7, minus 9 for your evening, with just cloudy conditions, kind of calm for your Wednesday and for your Thursday. And then we have another shot of cold air coming in for Friday. I'll tell you that coming up. And your complete 3-day forecast. Heidi?
Well, thanks for that, Craig. And like I said, I am welcoming this warm blast of air, and I almost had to fight the urge to put on shorts, although I did see a guy wearing shorts yesterday. Who are those guys? What are you wearing shorts for? Actually, it was kind of funny, too, because he was getting into a car. His mom was on the step, and I could just see her chewing on him, you know. But anyway, he didn't care. So, you know who does care? Those are business communities. So let's hop on into their world. We'll get some information from Superior Adult Learning, from the Huron Superior Catholic District School Board about registration. Superior Adult Learning, of course, attaching to helping adults reach literacy goals. So go fill your cup and come on back.
Shop local, dine local, listen local, love local. Small businesses in the Algoma area have been a huge part of our community. Now is the time to show our support for them. From local markets to retail stores, music venues, and restaurants. Small businesses make up the backbone of our community. So go on, embrace all they have to offer by shopping, dining, listening, and loving local. Visit ssmcoc.com to learn more or to join the Chamber today. Superior Adult Learning provides free one-on-one support to help you reach your goals. Improve your reading, writing, and math skills, become more independent, and increase your employability. Visit www.superioral.ca to get started now.
Well, good morning and welcome back. Hopefully you had a chance to get some coffee. I'm moderately caffeinated, so no need to panic just yet. Yeah, so in the vein of not panicking, we're going to get into the COVID numbers, potentially trending in a better direction. So, you know, I'm not going to invoke the ripping of the Band-Aid today, but this is what I will tell you. Yeah. Algoma Public Health yesterday did report a significant decline in the number of active COVID-19 cases, counting 132 added to the list of resolved. So the number of active cases across the region now stands at 637, down from the 754 that was previously reported. So on the heels of that, Algoma Public Health did report 15 new confirmed cases, which is
one of the lowest numbers reported in a single day over the past several weeks since the Omicron variant was suspected to be working its way across the region. So the number of hospitalized cases also fell by 3, bringing that total back down to 11. And as a reminder, Sault Area Hospital has declared an outbreak in the emergency department amongst staff that work there, in addition to asking the community for cooperation as they continue to combat Omicron. The new cases can be broken down by region as follows: 5 allocated to Sault Ste. Marie area, 6 rolling up to Elliott-Laken area, 1 from Central and East Algoma, and then 3 from North Algoma. So like I said, hopefully, the beginning of the turnaround. Provincially, and again, the province has flipped the way they report the numbers, so now they talk more about people who are actually hospitalized as a result of COVID-19. So yesterday, Ontario did report that 3,220 people are hospitalized with COVID-19 and 21 new deaths did occur. Hospitalizations have increased by 753 patients from Monday. The province, Health Minister Christine Elliott tweeted that 54% of those hospitalized were admitted because of COVID-19 symptoms, and the other 46% were admitted for other reasons and then tested positive upon admission. She did also tweet, everybody's tweeting. It kind of, to me, undermines the official nature of the message, but okay. She tweeted that due to technical issues, ICU admission numbers would be delayed. So the province did report 7,951 new COVID cases. So again, that number seems to be coming down. Elliott said that 83% of the patients in ICU were admitted due to COVID-19. That's interesting. In the same article, they've got different numbers. So we're going to skip that part. All right. Here's one too. Climate change, income security, and community resilience. All 3 very big topics. So this has to do then with the Crane Institute for Sustainability that has partnered with the Green Resilience Project to organize a community conversation on the links between climate change, income security, and community resilience. So climate change and income security, of course, 2 of the most urgent challenges facing Canada today. So the goal then in initiating these conversations is to explore how policies in these areas can support each other in Sault Ste. Marie and provide community members with the time, energy, and resources they need to build the resilience at the local level. So the conversation then is set to take place for Sault Ste. Marie in particular on February 2nd, 2022. It will run from 6 to 8:30 p.m. So to register, you are asked to please email info@ci4s, so CI the number 4s .org. So, and from that you will get an information package and a consent form. If I went too quickly, which sometimes I do, you can go to the website at SiouxOnline.com. You'll see the article. There's a nice little hyperlink. You click on that, it'll populate your to field in your email. Okay. Yeah, well, you know what? Let's take a break from listening to my voice, and we'll go back over to Craig and listen to his voice.
Well, Heidi, a much nicer day today, temperature-wise at least, -4 when we woke up today. A lot better than the -20s we saw yesterday. And we're going to not see those colder temperatures until at least another couple of days. We're going to go back to seasonal values. We can take a look at the satellite and show you the flow of air is coming from the west-northwest. Normally that kicks off some lake effect snow showers, but not today. We're kind of too warm today for that to happen, but that's what's happening today. Kind of a dull day. Mainly cloudy conditions. We could see the odd flurry here and there, but temperatures and the snow will be at bay. The temperatures will actually cool down as we go on throughout the day. We'll take a look at the radar, and really most of the snow that was going to come today has already come. Just a few flurries to the north. Again, we could see a few little pockets pop up here and there. Mainly cloudy for today though. Temperature-wise, as I said, we're much better today. -4 is our current temperature actually, and we're going to just dip those temperatures gradually throughout the day until we hit about -9 for this evening, -12 in Wawa, -15, still cool in Timmins at minus 15. This is what the board looks like for today, so really nothing to worry about. We do have this cold front, and again, it could kick off a little bit of flurry activity. For the most part, though, it's just going to usher in slightly cooler air for our afternoon and into our evening. This is what we look like for the next 3 days. Again, we could see a little bit of flurry activity today. -4 is your high. That has already been achieved, so we're on our way down for most of the afternoon. -5 for your high on Thursday. Again, another little disturbance could come through Thursday, giving us just a little bit of flurry activity, but then look at Friday. We have sun, that big giant yellow ball, and very cold conditions, unfortunately, coming with that clear conditions. That's because the high pressure system, an Arctic high, is coming in for a couple of days, dropping our temperatures way down to -16 for a high. You can imagine just how cold it's going to get at night on Friday night into Saturday. I'll give you those details coming up on your 7-day forecast. Heidi?
Well, you had my attention with the sun, but then you said it's going to be very cold. I look up, I see the graphic of the sun, a nice big bright yellow ball with very cold underneath it. So why even draw attention to it? Anyway, I think we're going to a break now. Yes, we are. Yes. I got it right, so that's fantastic. Go fill your cup. Come on back. I've got more information. We're going to talk a little bit about the schools reopening. We're going to talk about, you know, what the teachers' unions are saying. I've got a factoid and, of course, social media. If you haven't commented yet and you want to chat, send it in.
Superior Adult Learning is looking for volunteers who want to make a difference in our community and help others reach their full potential. In only a few hours a week, you can help our learners achieve their goals and set them on a path towards a successful, independent future. Visit www.superioral.ca to get started now. First Local, supported by Maker North, 3D printing, laser cutting, 3D design, education prototyping, and more. Maker North, whatever it takes.
Good morning and welcome back. It is a slightly warmer Wednesday. Oh, hump day. Woo, what day is it? All right, January the 12th. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit now about, so the schools it has been announced that apparently schools will go back to in-person learning on Monday. I have cautious optimism. Sometimes announcements can come over the weekend that can change that, but in this moment, that is the plan. Of course, some guidance, some updated screening questions have been put forward to we, the parents, the guardians. Now, new school guidance from the Ontario government said that only certain students and teachers who show symptoms of COVID-19 will have access to PCR tests when schools reopen to in-person learning next week. The Ministry of Health document says that take-home PCR self-collection kits will only be provided to elementary and secondary students, as well as education staff who become symptomatic while at school. So the test kits will only be given, yes, to students or staff. I love how they really want to kind of really spell it out for you, okay? So in case you needed to be reminded of the symptoms, so these test kits will only be given to students or staff who have fever or chills, a cough, shortness of breath, a loss of taste or smell, or 2 or more of the less common symptoms, such as runny nose, sore throat, or muscle aches. Okay, yeah, the ministry says PCR kits will not be provided to entire cohorts or school populations. The document says that those waiting for for a result of a COVID-19 test or who cannot access a test must isolate at home regardless of vaccination status along with others in their household. So the new guidance then does come down as Premier Doug Ford's office says Ontario students again returning to the classroom Monday the 17th. The government says that due to widespread transmission and the inability to test all symptomatic individuals, schools will not be routinely notifying students if they are exposed to a positive case or if a child or student or staff member is absent due to symptoms associated with COVID-19. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess, you know, if I'm challenged to find the positive in that, I'm just going to say at least they're recognizing the importance to children to get back into school, to have access to their friends again, and to kind of, you know, continue to develop the social component, which in my opinion has been suffering under, you know, the remote learning, although the teachers that I work with in particular are doing a fantastic job. So, okay, so on the heels of that then, the teachers union has stepped up and said they have safety concerns ahead of schools reopening next week as the government is sharply limiting access to those PCR tests for students and teachers. So the president of the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario, ONNE, Karen Brown, said that while many teachers want to return to in-person learning and feel it's the best way to engage with students, some are still concerned about whether there will be enough safety measures in place by Monday to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in schools. So her union, the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation, calling for more HEPA filters in the schools, reduced class sizes to promote physical distancing, along with COVID-19 testing, tracing, and monitoring to ensure a safe return to schools. She thinks that parents should brace themselves for a lot of interruptions. She did say that what has been announced so far she does not feel is enough. She said, we're almost 2 years into this pandemic. Why are we still asking for those things? And we need to have testing. We need the rapid antigen testing happening and the contact tracing to occur. So Minister Stephen Lecce and Ontario's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Kieran Moore, are actually about to make an announcement later today, this afternoon, I believe, on preparations that are underway for the return to in-person learning. So in a written statement, Lecce did say the government has been preparing for the return to in-class learning by doing as much as we can to improve ventilation, to provide high-quality personal protective equipment, and expand access to vaccinations. He did say that the province has shipped 9.1 million non-fitted N95 masks for staff and more than 4 million three-ply masks for students, with more shipments to be sent over the coming weeks and months. And then of course the accelerated access to booster shots for education and childcare staff, deploying 3,000 more HEPA filter units to school boards, and in addition to the existing 70,000 HEPA filter units and other ventilation devices in school. So, definitely an interesting read just to get the perspective, from the unions involved, representing the educators and the workers in those communities. So it is posted in its entirety to our website, and as always, you are encouraged to go take a read. Okay. Craig is here with me now. I'm going to do the factoid, so I was particularly excited about it. Craig was trying to get, Mike, okay. Craig wanted to know about it, but I wouldn't tell him because, that's just how I can be.
It's gotta be a secret.
So on this day in 1971, the TV show All in the Family debuts on CBS. This show was groundbreaking for handling previously taboo topics such as racism, homosexuality, women's lib, religion, and the Vietnam War. Now, there was an episode in which, this episode, in fact, in which Sammy Davis Jr. kisses Archie Bunker. Was for decades considered to be the longest studio audience laughter of any TV show, and became known as the kiss heard around the world. So there you have it.
And I'll say my dad, my late dad, he didn't watch a lot of TV, or especially entertainment shows, but he watched All in the Family, and it was one of the very few shows that he would actually laugh out loud.
Was that right, eh?
Yeah, oh yeah. And
Yeah.
so if you've made my dad laugh,
Well, it's
you've done your job.
the cast alone, stellar. It is said that Jean Stapleton, who played Edith, never once flubbed a line. Not once.
No, I believe that.
Yeah, not once. I mean, different caliber of performer back then. Like, you had to be so much more on because you know, 10 seconds to the end of show or what? You're not going to cut me off.
Don't we have,
Stop it. We got social media. We got the
social
7-day.
media.
You're not cutting anything off. All right. Yes. All right, we got Jim Whitty beating everybody to the punch. He says, good morning, folks. Good morning to you, Witty Jim Whitty. Joseph Bertrand, good day to everyone at First Local, and good day to you and your team at
Joseph.
Maker North.
Yeah.
Solving problems. Jim Whitty, it was so cold we had to chop up the piano for firewood, but we only got 2 chords. Of course, then you have to look at the spelling, right? It's just wah, wah. Awesome. Steph Swanson, hello, lovely. She says, good morning, all. Tracy Faye, hello, Tracy Faye.
Tracy.
Good morning. See there. I knew it. She and I are, simpatico. She says it's nearly balmy out there compared to
Yes,
yesterday.
well, it
And
is.
you are accurate, yes. Joanne Burmaster says, good morning, all. Good morning, Joanne. Marge Gray from Fergus says, good morning. Beautiful sky for sure. So I guess it happened in Fergus as well.
Yes, it did. Actually,
pinkness.
it happened in
The
Southern
pinkness.
Ontario
Okay.
as well. Yeah.
Okay. Jen Buckins says, good morning and have a great day. You too, Jen. Have a great day. Bradley Evoy, good morning. Happy hump day. Yes, Brad, happy hump day to you and good morning. Thank you for the tip on the starter. I'm working on that. Odin TV on Twitch. Good morning, y'all, from Team Jen from driver's seat. Hi, Jen. Hello. Enika says, good morning, all. Happy
Hi,
hump
Enika.
day. Hello, Enika. Happy hump day.
I'm just wondering, what time does she watch the show at there?
What time is it right now, Enika?
Must be 2 o'clock, right?
She's really fast. How do you know that?
Because they're like 6 hours ahead.
How could you know that? Who knows that off the top of their head?
Me. But I think it's 2 o'clock. there,
Okay.
so.
Well, we're going to find out because Enika's very fast to respond usually. Kathy Boren says, good morning, all. Have a beautiful day. Well, it's much, much warmer. I was very cranky yesterday. It was very cold. And I had to get in and out of my car about 675,000 times. So, yeah, I was cold all day, which is unusual for me. Okay. Jim Whitty greeting Brad. We've got Barbie Dow saying good morning all. Good morning, Barbie. Debbie Clayton, good morning. Hope you're having a good one. Cautious optimism so far. It's warmer, so already I'm happy. Like my feet, I can feel my feet today, so that's great. Good morning to you, Debbie. Thank you for commenting. And Bradley responding to Jim with good morning to you, sir. Okay, good. So that
There you go.
wraps that up, and
Yeah.
I can hand it over to Craig now with confidence that we're not going to get cut off because Craig's going to do the 7-day.
7-day, and we're not looking all that bad actually as far as temperatures go for at least today and tomorrow. We're at least seasonal, and then we see a lot of sun actually on Friday and Saturday. We're going to see some sun, and it's but the temperatures are dipping on Saturday and Sunday, and then we have another system coming in that could give us some snow on Sunday.
Okay.
But really, we don't see anything major like we did last weekend, so that's good news.
Okay. Well,
So
all right.
did Enika reply?
She did respond. Enika says, yes, you're right, Craig, 6 hours ahead. Here it is 14.35 hours, so 25 to 3. Yeah, Marge Gray, 2:30 in the Netherlands. Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Awesome.
you
So
go.
we get to have lunch with you, Enika. That's why, that's why, because she used to put all the little food emojis. So
Oh,
that's
maybe,
why.
yeah, 'cause she was having her lunch.
her lunch, yeah. Awesome.
you go.
Well, always nice to know what brings us together and for me to get a chance to see what you're doing when you're watching me, because you all get to see what I'm doing when you're watching me. And he.
And he.
All right, that's all we have for you today. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great one.
It's Jacob Moore, sports analyst, back in the On TV studios, letting you know that 705 Sports is now expanding. We will now be airing 705 Sports headlines Wednesdays at noon. This will be a much shorter, quicker version of 705 Sports, where we'll be talking about all the biggest stories in sports, but not breaking them down quite the same way we do on the full show, which will still be every Friday at noon. So make sure you turn in to 705 Sports headlines every Wednesday at noon, starting this Wednesday.